This is Pointless Witticisms, the audio thing where I have at most 9 minutes and 47 seconds to adequately explain to you what a given thing is. Today's thing is Asylum. Have you ever wanted to watch the cast of Survivor die? Well, not in the sense that you hate a given cast member's guts, more in the sense that a ghost stalks them and pins them to the ground and then eats spaghetti off of their chest. Don't watch it. It's the bad kind of bad film. It's not quite entertainingly bad. Hell Asylum is a 2002 film where 5 sexy models are asked to take part in a reality TV show set inside a reportedly haunted insane asylum because it's always an evil murderer ghost in these places instead of, say, a woman with dementia who was left there by her family and never visited, or a supposedly hysterical woman placed there against her will by her husband or something, which would seemingly be just as common as just, say, a generic evil person in an insane asylum because they're insane and evil and murder people, honestly. Anyway, 5 sexy models have to make their way through reality TV show challenges with a horror movie twist, like having centipedes and worms and dirt poured into their hair, so really it's not that different from the usual reality TV show fare anyway. Imagine all of the cringiness of watching a show like Survivor or I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, but set in a horror movie setting. Then imagine if you don't know if the killer is real or if it's all just part of the show, because the film plays about with that idea. Then imagine the budget is minute. Comically so. A woman being murdered looks like a man in a Scream costume with the mask removed, doing squats on her belly while eating spaghetti. But not quite in a funny way. Well, definitely not in a so bad it's good way, in a bad way. It's entertainingly bad, but also just plain bad, and it rides the line between the two. Then imagine that Imagine that they just keep doing that exact same scene because people are continually having their spaghetti eaten by this ghost in a hood and his friends who also showed up in their hoods and didn't bring any cutlery either, so they're all going to have to try and do this with their hands and get that spaghetti everywhere while they're eating it off of women's chests. The acting of the film is rather on par with a reality TV show. It's real, it's raw, it could definitely have used another cut, except because, of course, it's a reality TV show, it doesn't get another cut, so they get to play to the strengths of the actresses, which is in being shocked, being scared, being angry, and being inquisitive at each other, and shouting about getting their money when they win, and being vaguely sexy in a TV show kind of way, exactly like reality TV, except like they knew their limitations and maybe built a plot that let them play to their budget's strengths and have a bunch of silly things to do within the genre. Except it isn't that fun. I have a hard time hating this film. I have a hard time recommending this film either. It's just another spooky ghost picks off people one by one film, just with the veneer of reality TV show spread over it like hubris being spread on a warm pita bread. Only people that like low-budget horror, camp and cheap acting, over-the-top low-budget deaths, and over-the-budget low-top death would probably be a weird thing to imagine, but I can expect that it would be something you'd get in a 2010 reboot of a horror franchise or something, where some woman's chest is barely exposed when she's about to be stabbed by Freddy Krueger, except with more realistic burn makeup. Just don't watch Hell Asylum. Just because it costs 50 pence at CEX doesn't mean you should buy it. Right, so because of course that this thing is basically based around my stupid media browsing habits, I can tell you all about a thing called CEX. That's CEX spelt CEX and pronounced either CEX or sex. Is a British chain of stores that sells used DVDs and buys used DVDs and buys used video games and buys used phones and pretty much anything. It's a giant bargain bin that plays whatever the employees feel like for music in the stores. The one in Weymouth played Disney songs with the employees singing along the last time I was in Weymouth, and the one nearest me plays nu metal all the time. That's nu metal spelt NU. Now, the thing is, you can buy just about anything there, and everything becomes worthless when you can buy anything. Batman the Dark Knight is 50p. Halo is 50p. Hell Asylum was 50p. That's 50 pence or 50 cents or however much an arbitrarily low amount of change would be wherever you are. Everything is worth next to nothing, and when everything is worth next to nothing, anything becomes worth the same as everything else, and so you pick up literally anything. You'll pick up Predestination, or whatever you want. I mean, I quite had a lot of fun watching Predestination, but I also picked up Hell Asylum, and Hell Asylum is just garbage. When you can pick up anything you want, you become bored of everything, and then you watch anything. And while Hell Asylum is bad, I had a little bit of fun because it was different. It didn't quite feel self-aware, except maybe it felt self-aware, except there's a twist at the end that implies that maybe it was self-aware the entire time. And it was camp and mad, and I was watching it purely for the novelty of a film with a name that insane as Hell Asylum, and a cover art to the box that looks absolutely abhorrent. I've done a slight cartoonish rendition, of course, for this video's picture, as I am normally wont to do. Films are insane. Every film is insane when you think about it. Would you like this film? No. Maybe. But you shouldn't watch it, but maybe you should. Not even if you find it in a bargain bin for 50 pence, not even in a gas station or a pound store. That's what we call our dollar stores. The wares aren't exactly any better quality, even though the pound is worth a little more than the dollar, I believe. Anyway, this was Hell Asylum, a stupid film that I watched.